Just let you all come in for a bit. Just give you a chance to come in and just there. All these should be popping with red X's on them. Do you know that? So whenever you're peaceful, very settled, I'm glad things are moving forward now. I know a lot of people don't trust these things, but I really need your help to get everybody into submission, ready to turn this into them submitting. So please, please, please go with me on this. I actually know what I'm doing, believe it or not. And I've got people around me who are advising me. So I've spoken to, however anyone feels about David Shayler being his next MI5 agent, and not many people really are ex-MI5 agents. He knows what he's talking about with affidavits. I'm speaking over this video as well. Do not rise on praise, humble yourself. If you don't humble yourself, you'll stumble. If you come from a very prideful, boastful way, hey, you cunt, you took my kids, it's going to get us nowhere. Sometimes you've got to bow the knee to win, and then you decide, you know what I mean? So, come on, my next army wife. So, Dean's back out on the road. I'm going to let you just listen for a minute. I'm smoking as well. As long as you live here, it's who you are. You'll understand someday. Amber's over in Trinidad, so her equipment is worse than mine, and I'm sorry about hearing my fan in the background. This laptop has had it. I can't even get Word installed on it. It's pissing me off. But I'm chilled, I'm calm. I know I'm going to face all forms of adversity. I know by the power of Jesus Christ and through the Holy Spirit itself that I am standing very firm ground right now, and that I am facing projections and persecutions, and I'm going to hold a mighty storm for many people and keep this gate open and hopefully push this over to September, because my issue with the fact that this inquiry is happening at a time that tomorrow, I wish I could be in London for you guys, but literally, hang on, there's my pockets. I've just taken my coat off. It's just flagging all over the place. It's doing my fucking nutting now. Don't know if any of you remember this jacket. I got this charity jacket when I was on the streets, and it was from charity. It was a black leather jacket. And when I was going for my, oh God, I had a non-molestation order, a committal to prison. I just had my children's care and placement order. I just lost an appeal because I'm doing everything. And I just faced another gagging, and I was going to oppose the adoption order, and I had this jacket on, and I just sat there and I just threw up everywhere, and the people that I was with literally like took my clothes, and it came out this stumbly colour. But now, I've ended up spraying across on the back of it. But look, it's completely coming off now, and literally everywhere I go, even my car, everywhere, it's everywhere. So anyway, this song is just about to wash off. So I just want you to hold the thought right now. If you're a parent here that's forced adoption, parent alienation, long-term foster care, anything that is separating you from your child, just for 1 minute as this cuts out. They're your blood. It is a piece of paper that stands in between us and our kids. Rock outweighs. And it doesn't get back by paper. But like at the end of the day, it's just fucking paper. It's just a piece of paper. It's this that is standing in between us and our children, just this. And all I am asking you to do is rewrite this according to the questions that they're asking, because if it's not in line with it, they'll bounce it out. You have to stay in line, and you've got to expand the boxes out in a really careful way. I don't know what song's coming, and I was going to cut it off, but I do this deliberately so it antagonises the owners. But anyway, I don't want to listen to music.
Look at this stuff.
Oh, it's a mermaid. Oh, in fact, actually.
Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything?
I wanted to do an art piece once, and I said to somebody, have you ever seen Little Mermaid? And this piece I wanted to do was of the woman who was the witch that was right down at the bottom, and I wanted to do all the crack needles and heroin needles and everything, all at the bottom of it, with chains coming off of it, and then people playing volleyball on the beach, and literally everything from the negatives all the way down from where she was, all the things coming through to the sea being bluer and bluer, and then families being shackled to people down at the bottom while trying to play volleyball, and this whole thing to show the different states of mindsets. Something I've never managed to complete, but it's something that I've done piece by piece over the times and then lost bits and stuff like that. But it's something that I wanted to do all together, like from a bridge over the top of. So if anyone wants to come down and do bits of it, and I'll find somewhere down Portsmouth that's a bridge, then come and do bits of it. It would be great. But like, in fact, Mark, where's Mark? Mark, my Portsmouth artist. I'm going to ask him to do it. In fact, Mark, I'll give you a plug on here. Mark actually does a lot of the artwork around here, and if you Google Portsmouth, there's a very famous map on the side, and he keeps building on it, and that's the Mark that I'm talking about. So actually, if we could find a bridge, we could probably do this all the way down, maybe, somehow. But anyway, it's something I want to be able to do, because when I was with Stephen, who I don't really talk about, you might notice that I never, ever really, I'm not here to badmouth Aaron and Faye's dad. I don't talk about Aaron and Faye's dad. I don't really name Aaron and Faye's dad. He signed the adoption papers, whether it was coerced or didn't understand, he made the decision to do that. I'm a mum who stands alone and fights alone, and my philosophy in life is, if I haven't got anything good to say about you, then I'm not going to waste my time saying anything bad. And I once said to Stephen, and this is all I'm going to say about it, I once said to Stephen, as long as you continue to do what you do, you are down there with the drug clinics and picking up your scripts and mingling and associating with people that you get your drugs from down in your valley, and taking heroin, and me and drinking and disappearing, and me and family, which was my two boys, Aaron and Faith, and I lived in a really beautiful 4-bedroom detached house prior to Faith. But Aaron was born in my home prior to Stephen coming to my home with my two boys. Beautiful, beautiful 4-bedroom detached home as a single mother. I was at Preston University. I ran Unity in the community. I had my own office. I graduated from university and then I met Stephen. And literally, I went from playing volleyball on the beach to nose diving into the fucking sea, crashing down to the bottom and being and just being suffocated by this world that existed of drug clinics fucking up his script all the time, him being in high state of anxiety because if his script wasn't done right, then he would go into a rattle, and then having to go and get methadone from the streets. And I just entered into this world that was just like, it wasn't something that I understood. I was on morphine and he was on methadone. I didn't know this world whatsoever. In fact, my sort of sister-in-law got her friend to come and have a coffee with me one day and said, look, do you understand what you're going through, what you're going to go through, and how this cycle is going to work and how this is going to damage you? Do you understand this? And I was like, no, he's different, blah, 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 blah. And even my ex-husband called me to the side and said, Kelly, what the fuck is happening to you? You're going down and you don't see it. And he like called me and said, do you understand the spiral that you're entering into? Do you understand what this is? And I was like, whoa. And I listened to my ex-husband. When my ex-husband speaks to me and he actually steps to me and speaks to me, I listen because I know he's always got the boys' best intentions at heart. So if he's coming to me, then as much as I don't always like the way he does it, and he's very direct with me, and we actually haven't had to speak for a long time because obviously our boys are adults, so we don't need to, but we did do all the sports days, parent evenings, all that stuff together, and we've always been very amicable for the sake of the boys. But when he steps to me, I do listen because he doesn't ever come to me if it's not really something that he feels needs to be spoken about. And even he said to me, and even PC Tickle, and because it was part of like all the PTA meetings and stuff like that, when I saw my local police officer, he said, Kelly, come on, like, you need to bounce out of this. You've changed. You've changed. And I really wanted to be able to show the masks of the drugs and where people are coming from, because I don't have permission to tell any of my children's father from Aaron and Faith. And I shouldn't have really said his name, to be honest, because I don't. He lives a very, very, very private life. He's not somebody who's on social media per se. He's not. His family are a very, very quiet council, long-term, lifetime family that will always live that very narrow, shallow life around the coffee table, talking about everybody else and never ever doing anything with their lives. I do believe he's got very fat, so that means he's obviously off drink and drugs, because that's what he does to you. I hope to God he one day really does. But all I've never ever stopped any of my children's fathers from seeing my children. All I said was, I turned up with him at the park to meet with Aaron. Aaron was 5 months old in the buggy. It was 10 o'clock in the morning, and he had a bag with cans in it. And I said, if you can put them in the car. And he said, no. And I said, well, then you don't have Aaron if you're going to sit on the park with some cans. And he said, well, they're for later. I said, well, still, I don't care. It's not like you're just somebody who has a barbecue on a Saturday night. You can't control it, and you can't ring me and say. So, and no, you won't be on the park with you walking around with can in your hand. So he decided to take me to court, and he was offered a contact centre and cheered as he came out of the room with his girlfriend, who was rolling a fag in the back. And I was like, seriously, you really think my son's going to a contact centre? Like, and I even told the judge, like, my son is not coming down to his level in a contact centre. We've got buddies that my children play at. He can come and play football with his son on a Saturday for a couple of hours. They're happy to do that. He can take them off to the park. I'm happy to do that. All I ask is he does not associate on the streets with, any exchange of any drugs, and that he has them midday and he can't have them overnight, and he cannot be supervised, and the children will not go into the family environment, and it was approved. And he then decided he didn't want anything to do with the two kids because he didn't want me controlling the situation. And it became so ridiculous. Like, him and his girlfriend were messaging me, telling me that she's pregnant and they're having this new family and all of this. And it's like, fuck off, I'm pregnant with Faith at the moment. And, you know, you're going through all of this shit. And I'm like getting freaked. Anyway, I'll go into it one day. It'll all be in the book, do you know what I mean? I will talk about it in there, but I don't talk about it. But anyway, I hadn't seen or heard from him in like, he turned up to one meeting when I was going in the hospital to have Faith because I had social services around me. I had a high-risk pregnancy. Dad was not considered as somebody that could have Aaron by himself, and I'd said Aaron, Liam and Daniel all need to be kept together because I was going in to have a potential high-risk death pregnancy, having just had hemorrhage with Aaron not previously before. Stephen was invited to be at Faith's birth. He chose not to. His family were invited. They chose not to. You know, so I did it with my local church. You know, I went through all of the right things. I did all the right stuff. But I was told to do what I needed to do. And he did it the way he needed to do, and he signed the adoption papers. I did not sign the adoption papers. In fact, I told everybody in that room, if anyone hands me a pen with a piece of paper to sign whatever the fuck it may be, I will stick that pen in the back of your fucking hands and through your eyes. I will not sign anything. And I have fought and fought and fought ever since. This inquiry is really important to me because we have worked really hard, really hard. I have sacrificed my family. I have sacrificed my two older boys. I've sacrificed my own case. I've sacrificed my entire life and even my future with Dean and two boys to foresee this through to the end, and it's been very challenging, very hard. I've lost my mother through this. Everybody thinks I'm going to risk the boys. Everybody wants me to focus on just the boys. And I keep reminding people that I have 7 children. I have the justice of 3 children. I will raise my 2 boys. I still have my 2 boys, even though they're adults, I'm still their mum. And I've always argued this. I've just come back from picking up like a unit thing that I'm going to spend some time just giving it some TLC and doing something with it, and then maybe sell it, auction it, whatever. I think I've got about £7 in my pocket. I really, really needed to be in Parliament tomorrow. It's mental health big meeting in Parliament tomorrow. So even if every person can all stand for mental health tomorrow, and hit it on Twitter, hit it on your MPs, get on their lives when they're talking about it. If you Red X stuff, just love, like, and everything, you'll just go Red X, Red X, Red X, Red X, Red X, Red X. And the reason that I asked you to do that is because every single one of us is being held under labels like disenfranchised grief. That's a new one, by the way. Grief, depression, borderline personality, bipolar, narcissistic personality, schizophrenia, socials, the list goes on and on and on and on. It's all created by the DSM-5, and the reason that I say this is important with America is because it's created by America. The psychologist that had designed this is a Canadian psychologist who's in January. I'll probably get a bullet to my head for this, by the way, and I'm going to take a deep breath and lit my fag before I say this and do this. His name's actually gone completely from my mind, but he's a Canadian psychologist, and he's going to get named on the Epstein case, which basically means a paedophile wrote the whole mental health that we live under in Britain. You are born. This is going to be a Kelly coaching moment for a bit. But you are born, and the reason that I do this and the reason that I give my time in my working well, because it's what I do as a business, I suppose. It's like £5 a fucking consultation with me. You're born, and your internal self, this is really important for your children, because what's really important is your children's identity. And you will find your kids quicker the quicker you get into your own identity. And the reason I say that is because you will keep polarizing to each other. Like, there's another word for it actually, but it's like you'll magnetize to each other, because the more you step into your own true self, the more your child and children step into their own true selves. And not just through, it's really, really, really weird, not just through being around you physically, presently, but because your blood, your enzymes, your energy, your spiritual path, your everything is connected. You're connected by blood. Blood is thicker than water. Simple. It is. It's been measured, isn't it? And even if it isn't, family, you're born into your family for a reason. And Jesus, sorry to say it to the people who want to just go, but tough fucking shit, mate. When Jesus rocked the fucking world, man, he did. But when Jesus stood, there was a bloodline, okay, and our world country will go to war over bloodline and territory. You're all being deluded, like minerals and golds and things like that. They're fighting over fucking bloodline, and they've been fighting over bloodline for many years. I would have to take you back to. I'd have to take you back to the days when people weren't going surfing and windsurfing and, you know, snowboarding and playing rounders on the park. They might have had to crochet, sort of thing. But, you know, we didn't live in this society of iPhones, which I've got in my phone, and ballet is that historical, by the way, that people naturally snap their own fucking ankles because of an old school teacher who taught them that they had to have their foot in a certain position, which actually doesn't need to really happen. But I'd have to take all of those shiny things away from you and remind you that everybody was fighting over land. Your birth certificate, people call a straw man, was basically your right to your acre of land, your vice, your bale, and your cattle, or whatever it was that you were going to have. I think it's an acre. It might even be more than an acre, but I think it was about an acre. And that's what it was. It was your receipt. As you came onto the land in the dock, you were given this ticket, this receipt. It had your name, your identity, and you were issued a place of land to build your home, build your family. Then we started bartering and exchanging things like eggs and bale and rice and stuff like that. And then farmers' markets started. So markets have been around for outside king's castles and stuff like that. And we were the peasants and the aristocrats. And gradually, they would loan money, and businesses have come, and we've got this middle class that existed. I don't even know where I fit, top, middle, or bottom. I'll do a cackly fucking chubby, or oh darling, would you like me to speak with the tongue in my mouth? Where would you like me to sit? Would you like me to put some heels on, sweetheart? Or would you like me to fuck around in me fucking trance, you know? Label me, stick me in a box, I really don't care. I have literally £5 note, a £1 coin, and a 50p. Oh, and a few Healthy Start vouchers. So I need to be on a mission because Dad is out. I think he's in the clubs tonight. So hopefully he's either dancing or DJing or sticking something up the back of something. I don't mean like that. I mean like spraying and graffitiing. Oh, who knows? Fuck knows. Who knows what anybody's doing these days? Can you really trust your partners? Who the fuck knows? I don't know. I don't have time for that shit. So I've got a mission to get on with, and that mission is to get every single one of you to write your fucking submission. we learned from Frederick these last couple of days that you can go back and edit it. So once you do, just literally just put a Word document together and just put, I'm currently writing my submission, put your details in, and I think all it asks for is your first name, your second name, your email, your phone number. Don't think it asks for your address, and then it just asks you to download your Word document. According to Frederick, you can go back and edit it if you want to change it. So I would advise you to just do that, just to floodgate them tomorrow and jam pack them up tomorrow to go, oh shit, somebody is on this, getting this done. They'll probably know that I'm doing this anyway, but and they'll certainly know that I own pages. So please also be aware that all the Twitter, I don't know if Amber's done the Twitter accounts, and I really need that. I need that fast. I'm hoping to have done it. But all of it, I need every single thing done ready for it. So I own it before September, because at the moment they just put it out there as an inquiry. So unless you watch it, you won't even know what's going on. They'll come back on the 3rd of September and they'll go, oh, okay, Phil, Jan sent an email. Tomorrow, I want them to wake up and go, okay, we might have a bit of a problem here. We might have to oversee this during, or maybe, and that's what I need tomorrow. So I need a mass push to get you at least in through the door, so you've got your thing and you can go on and edit it. So as we talk about how to do this affidavit along the way, we've got up until the 30th of August. So up until the 30th of August, you can just piece it together. I don't know how many times you can edit it, so I could do with just a couple of people who've already done it, just have a look to see how many times you can edit it. But obviously try and get it done as quick as possible. So basically just write in a Word document, sit down with a pen and paper, write those questions down, have a think about it, meditate on it, pray on it, whatever. Just write it out and then type it out, put it in a Word document, or even just create it in a Word document, and email it over. It's as simple as that. Go on to the link and fill in your details and just send it over. That's it. It's done, dusted, and go enjoy your fucking summer holidays. Go and do, I don't know, get on a bus on a Wednesday, Megabus, go and Express, go anywhere from like £5. If you've got a passport, if you haven't got a passport, get a passport by the end of the summer. And chances are you might have to come to Geneva with us for the next stage. So, if I say come on, we're going to Geneva, you want to make sure you've got, everything ready. So, or maybe go and do your driving test or something. Go, do you know what? Fuck it. Like my car, I paid 370 quid for my car. I can get out and about and around here, a tenner on that thing, top it 20 quid in, out and about, go and do a car boot. Make 60, 70, 80, 90. You need to be careful here. But, and I do always keep it under. Actually, I haven't managed to pull it off the last thing because I've got 2 kids. But, you could even get a van. You could maybe go and pick up bits like I do today. These are all free. I've gone and got this chest. It's, you remember the old tables? It's fucking solid. You should have seen me lifting it. They said, why didn't you not leave a voucher to put it outside for me? Because I didn't know what time I was going to get there. But I've had to carry this thing into the car, and I'm so glad I took the car seats out. But it's beautiful. I've posted it up. It's absolutely beautiful, solid, and I'm really looking forward to doing something with it, probably shaving it down, seeing what natural colour it is, and if not from there, then really paint it. But also, they gave me this, so I think the Lord is trying to speak to me. So they gave me this. So maybe I'm meant to get my ballet shoes, because then I've got my backpack. I keep saying when I'm on the roller skates, I need a little backpack, and it's a bit handy. So, because I'm sick and tired of carrying my bag around. So, and also I said to Liam, I haven't got a little throw over top. So this was also, I'm not going to put it on, but this was also, so it's too hot. So yeah, on a mission, I'm going to create a page made by Kelly, and so I'll show you a couple of things before I go, because not a lot of you know my personality side. So I get some spare time. I tend to try to do it on Saturdays when I have my kids. I haven't really done it with Elijah and Shiloh so much, and I do this stuff with them, but I have like, because I'm sort of like a real health freak with my kids. I have what's called Sin Saturday, and on Saturday, well, on Fridays, it also always starts with Blockbuster doesn't exist anymore, but we used to go across to Blockbuster, get a DVD, get all the snacks, pick up a McDonald's or a pizza or something like that, come home and get creative, watch. We used to have 3 different films, so it used to be like I was finishing up work on a Friday, so we used to have one for like Aaron and Faith, and then it used to get into sort of Daniel sitting down and coming in with his mates and watching the more sort of child action spy stuff, and then drilling into Liam coming in after Aaron and Faith had sort of fallen asleep. And you know, they were allowed sweets and crap like that. And then I used to go to church on Sunday, and then for Sunday dinner, I used to make Sunday dinner. But I sort of do little crazy shitty things like this. Like, so if I'm in on my own, I sometimes just get all the paints and bits out and just mess around. And so, but I need to make some money, and I keep telling people that you have to make money out of what you're passionate about. So Dean's got quite a big exclusive interior designer working with him, and he's actually asked me to do some designs on his table. So apparently I should take that as a bit of a compliment, really. But I don't really see it. I actually rip up my art, to be honest. And I've done this for a long time. I draw and then I rip it up and I don't let anyone see it. I was just pissing about for that with Dean. So I was just... Oh, they're actually just mine. I don't like this one at all. Don't like it. But the idea, and since I posted these, I did these ages ago, but I posted them, and the concept, because obviously I'm quite connected to artwork, but the concept's apparently in galleries, but I've just released this, and if I start seeing this at the galleries, I'll be really fucking pissed off, because this was a bit of an accident, and it sort of, I think, fits like that. So it's actually 2 that sits, and I'm trying to suss out how to put it on there. But if I see this with 2 pictures done like this, I'll be well, I won't. It's just that both me and Dean have had many of our products ripped off, and I really don't like that because it changed colour and it's gone a really crazy green. But I do like this one. And that's how I cope with my emotions. So, and I find it really therapeutic as well, because I just end up sort of like going and sticking them together, or like get lost in a mural of just doodling it around the place. So, and part of Step Up and Challenge Britain, of course, getting back to who and where I was before Aaron and Faith were taken. And the reason that I did this, I've probably got the film here somewhere. I have actually. Seriously, I've got to get seriously organised. It's like fucking seriously. Like, I've got paperwork in there as well. Like, it's fucking, it's seriously, it's like, I mean, this is the shit that they put on me from here. And, if you really want to get to know me, then read Aspie Girls. I'm quite personal. Oh, fantastic. I've just finally found my fucking diary. Brilliant. Excellent. Yes, I'm meant to be in Parliament tonight. Oh, brilliant. The car registration documents. Oh, don't I look really sweet? So anyway, if you're going to graduate from something, what would you... Oh, you'd like to see my daughter. My little angel. I need to get a new frame because it got broken. It's my daughter. It was stolen, kidnapped by Flintshire County Council on the 13th of December 2012 by PC Stephen Lawrence and Cheryl Osborne, social worker, illegally and unlawfully and unnecessary with her brother. So anyway, must seriously sort these companies out. I'm glad I found my document because I need to put my car up. So I need to get a van desperately. It's crazy. I need a van. Simple as that. I can't do this. I need to basically come out and help you write your fucking submissions, which I am available to do, by the way. I do have a car at the moment, as you can see. And do you know what these are? This, by the way, do you know what this actually does? This is just a registration. So basically, you spend the money, you buy your car, but you don't own it. They do. It's like everything. You don't own anything. Go to work to pay for what? Don't own fuck all. It all goes back in the chest piece. You die, you go off to hell or heaven or wherever it is, purgatory or wherever you're going to go, and it all goes back in the box. In fact, when I really need money, I have a cleaning company. It's a bit difficult for Elijah and Charlotte at the moment, but I have a cleaning company, and basically it's a solicitor's firm. And what they do is they just send in cleaners, sweep out the property. They can do whatever they want with it. Car beat it, sell it, auction it, whatever, it's theirs. They can take whatever they find in the house, even if there's £1 million under the sofa, it's theirs. The solicitors can't take any of it. They're not allowed to take anything, not allowed to own anything of it. If there's no will, that's it, it's gone. And they send the cleaners in, and then it gets sold. The state gets the money, simple as that. So, you know, why people have these attachments to material things, I don't know. So anyway, I have an attachment to two people, and that's Aaron and Faith. And they tried to claim that I don't have an attachment to my child, but I'm still here. I've been here since the 17th of July 2013. So this is my 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. This is my 7th year. And finally, we have an inquiry into Children's Social Services about the fact it's going to open up from my 26-week court process to everybody else's. And I hope from this we'll get the full-blown investigation. And if we can tumble this tomorrow, and if we can tumble this by August, and if on August, when submission date is, that we can stand and ask to call an investigation. And when they will do this sneakily, by the way, because when they did the thing on the debate on forced adoption in the UK, we sort of all turned up. So when they reread it, they snuck it through. So they are very sneaky bastards on this. So Fredericks is in. As soon as Frederick gets any message, we will know what's going on where, and I'm assuming he will be here till the end. So Frederick will let us know. We need to call back all old people now as well. So we need to literally call Fathers for Justice back, New Fathers for Justice, Families for Fathers, all the people that I was running with right back at the beginning. It was just literally me and 4 dads, and another mum, and a few of us. And you know, when we were stood at the conferences outside Birmingham, you know, you were talking, there was 5, 6, 7 of us. And now out there is, you know, we've had wake-ups, we've had kitchens broken, we've had buildings broken, squats opened, we've had kitchens out on the streets, we've had, you know, angels out on the streets, and, you know, grown to different ones, you know, even street nights came out of my birthday and stuff in Manchester, and then your wake-ups have grown to other things. And, you know, because don't forget, back in 2014, I think it was, I literally was going from London to Manchester, Liverpool, Bolton, Birmingham, Leeds, Scotland, Ireland, and don't forget the Walk for Justice as well, which was created at the end of when I got my commitment to prison. Faced my commitment to prison, 2-year commitment to prison. The SID went from the top of Scotland all the way down to, so I want to say to our mascot lady, rest in peace, and literally walked all the way down to London, finding as many people who weren't on social media on crackpot, people who are on the streets, people who just walk the streets, and when you tell them what they do, what we were doing and why we were doing it, they would say, look, I was raised in a children's home, but I've never told anybody about it, and this is what happened. There's a big call out by The Guardian, by the way, from any person who works at children's homes that wants to come forward and speak out at the moment. It's really important that they do. And they'll even do it anonymous. If you want to report any child home that's currently still or has been abusing children, then please go on. It should be on my social media, who to contact. If not, I get Amber to repost it back out. I've got to drag on like nicotine there. Seriously, I've got shit all the way around me. It's doing my fucking career. Seriously, if you ever lived in a one-bedroom flat with 5 people stuff, and 2 toddlers. Anyway, I've still got an overload because I don't know what you know, what you don't know. There's a couple of other things going on as well. So there's a Scottish reply to this UK one too, but there's also an actual individual Scotland thing going on. I've sent that over to Frederick too. And I'm assuming Frederick and Charmaine know each other. And what we basically need to do now, and what I'll hang on 2 seconds. I'm going to miss it when these 2 guys go into their own bedrooms, to be honest. I'm sure they might just murmur for a bit, but I need to do a bit of an in-depth video on this, and I'm going to check out Zoom or webinar or a couple of platforms to get us all onto properly, because we need a lot of training. And I say training because I'm exhausted running through the house to go all the way back, over everything to get through there, to get over. I've got artwork everywhere. I've got pieces and bits and bobs, and Liam's got a chest with all his stuff in, and he's asleep on the floor on the mattress. And then I've got the boys on the floor, and I've just had to go in because Elijah was on the floor. Shiloh got up. I'm exhausted. But what I basically need to form is like a coordinator for each city. So you need to do this now and fast. And basically through that, do a meetup in every city. And you could either do it per date so I can get to all of them and do it like a bit of a tour across, and we can do like workshops, seminars, events, or I can do it from here, which makes my life very much easier. And you can all meet up together and I can do them that way. Or we can do it so everybody's just sitting separately in their own homes like this, and we can do it through either a platform like Zoom or a webinar or something, or even live like this where I start going, I will be live, which is really difficult for me to do. I've got pains in the middle of my back right now. Just 2 seconds, I was just going to take a shower. Just dissipated my fucking shower. And Leon's got the laptop in there so I can hear friends playing. But what I feel would be better, and I don't know if it can happen now or if we're going to have to wait until September, because once this inquiry happens, please look at the steps of how the child abuse inquiry started. So the child abuse inquiry started, then there was a formalisation of a pressure group, which actually my partner at the time created the website and set a lot of that up, and then I got kicked out and we separated. I got taken out of Walk for Justice, blah, 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 blah. His girlfriend even fucking stalked me, created pages in me, all sorts. It was manic. So I came out of all of that for quite a bit, and Children's Judicial Review and all of that. And then obviously through family reform, we lost the main person who held everything, who died, and then we lost the person who created the Red X for me, and he also died, and we lost quite a few people. So I do feel the best way. I've been on Crackbook now, as you know, well, literally 9 years since I was in the media, but 7 years since Aaron and Faith were taken, and I've been here for you guys consistently for 7 fucking years since I broke my gag on Downing Street. I say I do just these awareness months, but I don't stop. I literally don't stop. Even this morning I've been on to Boris Johnson's office, and I'll be on tomorrow again, and I will do my best to try to get to London tomorrow. I have left £1.50 and I could put £1.50 in my account, which means I can do a dodgy petrol run. But unfortunately, I've got a bit of a problem with my car insurance at the moment, so I need to check whether I'm insured or not insured, because I don't know if my payment's going to go through, because I'd like to clear the money out. I don't like to smoke in here. I have to dangle, because I'd rather go outside to be honest. I've never smoked in the house before, so I like either dangle out the window in the kitchen, or I prefer to go downstairs. But I've got you guys here, so what was I going to say? Yeah, basically, I have the means to get around. I have a car. I just need to. I push myself into these situations all the time because I don't want to build anything from benefit money. I actually want the challenge of seeing what I can create and what I can build, and what things that I can, I don't know, put my energy and time in and watch grow. And I just wish Dean and I would get our acts together and decide, are we doing this together or not? I mean, he keeps saying we are, and I'm probably the hot and cold one that causes him to go hot and cold. Do you know what I mean? I did say from the beginning, we're dealing with a woman with complex trauma. He knew that when he met me, and I knew so was he when I met him. And I knew that we were both husbands, and this is not easy. So he's out there. He's I don't know if he's DJing tonight or dancing tonight, but I know he's doing one or the other. He might be spraying. He usually always does. He tends to leave his mark somewhere. He doesn't have a car. He doesn't have transportation. He's literally on his foot. Actually, there's no money for trains or transportation or anything, or hostels or anything. He's literally, got. I don't ask him anything over the phone because he's involved in stuff that I just can't ask over the phone or talk about publicly. So I don't tend to know what's going on until he comes back and, he like has a bath and, shows me all of these things through his pictures, and gets me to upload them and send them off to whoever they're going on to, and then I tend to know. So it's been a bit difficult for the first few years getting used to that sort of relationship. It's not a normal, per se, relationship. Not a lot of people with it. I mean, I've had so much shit like he goes off and stuff like that. And it's like trying to explain to people he's an artist, he's a DJ, he's an MC, he's a street artist, he's an activist, he's black bloc, what you expect. I knew that when I got together with him. So, but I come from a very snobby family, do you know what I mean? They just see him as a homeless street rat. So does everybody. They just see him as a homeless street rat. I think sometimes that's the problem. He sees himself as a homeless street rat. and sometimes he needs to get over that. But we are doing this with no equipment. If I have filming equipment, I would be in my element. If I have a van, I'd be in my element. If I had my photography stuff, I'd be in my element. If Dean had a studio on the van, I'd be in my element, and I'd literally come around every town and city and sit and chill with you and get you to write down your documents, send them off, get your cases done. I don't know, hire a sports centre or the town hall even, and bring the solicitors locally in and build something. I'd love to be able to do that right now. That'd be absolutely brilliant. But I don't have those means and those funds, and every time I fundraise, I get trolled. And if you see what happened to the love activists, they got a van and everyone fucking pissed all over them for this fundraising and it going into this van and then saying, oh, they need this. But you don't realise when you do street kitchens and soups kitchens at night time, and it's not so easy to do. And people don't see that, like even when we're going to Tesco's and stuff like that, or Sainsbury's or Asda or whatever, and their phone gets out at night time, we collect it. And when we go for walks around the streets, we hand things out and we do bits. And if somebody needs something, then we'll run off and find some resource that will sort it, and we'll see what we can do. But yeah, I'd love to be in a situation right now to say to the boys, like, come on, road trip, grab your bags. We're off around. I'd start here in Portsmouth. The difficulty of starting here in Portsmouth is once questions start being asked, it's a bit difficult. I have somewhere to go to. I can turn around to somebody and say, I'm not in your jurisdiction, I'm returning home. And they know me here in Portsmouth. To start it here and have them coming to my door at the moment, I'm not safe. I feel safer in a van than I do in this flat with only one door, do you know what I mean? I feel safer out there, especially if Dean's with us. So, I certainly feel I've got no problems whatsoever in, taking the wheel and getting away from the fuckers. It's fun. But anyway, really need. I'm rambling now, and I'll come up to my hour for evening. Nearly 52 minutes. I always say I'll give you about an hour in the evenings. Some of it is a bit personal. It's about my journey. Some of it's a bit help for you. Some of it's because we've all got to get on the same page. Like if you always ever remember the film Finding Nemo, and they all got trapped in the net and they're all flapping around, and Nemo's saying swim down, swim down, swim down, and you've got to get everybody going in the same direction. And what happens when these inquiries come up is people gaslight, people project, people say don't get involved, it's government, blah blah blah, can't create a system. We need you, like urgently. I don't work for government, I'm not funded by government, I don't work for a charity, I don't work for an organisation. I literally was just a single mum who set up a business and has a coach, rather than doing one-on-ones for like 75 quid an hour or 250 quid an hour or 35 quid an hour. I decided to build and build and build, and because I've come from a wheelchair, I was able to do it from a completely different point of view, from somebody who was disabled to enabled. But I was still a size 18 at the time, and I was, by the way. You can see the photographs yourself. Years of, well, not years, but Stephen constantly calling me fat bitch, fat bitch, fat bitch. Eventually it rings in your head and I got fat and fat. I've got the horse certainly to myself. So in 2010 I was basically changing my single mother trapped in benefit system. So single to married, hopefully I'll get married next year to doing the 2 years behind. Well, no, actually we're not, 2020. We said 5 years, so 5 years will be next year, 2020. Dean took me off down the street, 21st of July 2015. So literally since then, well, mind you, I say since then, I lived outside Bristol prison for a couple of months when he was held on remand when we were travelling around in the car. Crazy. But we've been here in Portsmouth, literally going through social services with our 2 boys. So Dean's now getting his life back and trying to get his career back, and I'm now starting to try to rebuild some form of normalisation, like interacting with my community and going out and doing things and trying to be normal. I've just literally gone up to the fireside, and even there I can't be normal straight away. It's a campaign. I can't stop it. It just doesn't stop. I'll do it in the shops, I'll do it at Doof. It just goes. I just don't know how to switch off. Do I feel like I can rest now because I know I can funnel you all to something official now? Yes, I do, because it's very difficult for me. I can't see your threshold documents. I really need a spring onion. I can't see your. I'm taking lots of risks at the moment doing what I'm doing with creating their page and all this sort of stuff. But I did it for Wanted and all that sort of thing anyway. Seriously, no. Oh, don't ever give me beetroot. I'm a right bugger with beetroot. Like bread and soaking it in beetroot. Look, I've got some really weird concoctions I like to eat, and now I'm not pregnant. Well, I don't know. But the thing gets just wired up another baby. So anyway, if you want your children to find you, return to you, feel connected to you, if you're in grief, struggling, depression, and you are naturally projecting your children away from you, and you create fear, unnatural fear. Now, as hard as it may seem to function, when you wake up every day not knowing where your kids are, who's got them, are they dead? Are they being abused? Are they being looked after? Does someone tuck them away in bed at night? Are they loved, cared for? How the fuck do 2 and 3-year-old children understand this transition? But what they do is they sever your identity. And it's really, really important that during this time that you keep that well intact. And you make sure that happens for your children too. However much it hurts, make sure you contact the adoption box. Make sure you send everything, the birthday cards, the pictures, everything that you can send. Make sure you constantly let know your presence. Email the courts. Email every single person involved in your case right now. Whoop-de-doo, the inquiry's here. Send them a copy of everything that you've written. Let them know you're here, you're still standing, you're still fighting, you're still letting them know that mum, dad is still here. No piece of paper can stop me. And I don't expect it to stop you too. And when I hear from people that they haven't got time, a couple of errors, they're not sure what to do, I have to ask why you're here. Because I'm here for people who've had their children taken unlawfully, unnecessarily, who have been battered by social services, labelled, whitewashed, and actually don't even really know why their kids were taken from them, because there's so many different things in there that you look at it and you think, yeah, that's a bit true, that sounds like me, but I don't really see how that's a problem. Not enough for this, not a draconian order like this. Or, well, actually, that has nothing to do with me. In fact, that's even a cut and paste from somebody else's fucking file, mate. Get your incompetency sorted, and I've got that in my case. Or, wow, hang on, you've got the wrong husband here, wrong situation, wrong date, wrong time. In fact, your information is, misleading, because there's a difference between cracked and smashed and these terminologies that you use. And just because you use the word homeless, it paints a picture of children living in complete poverty, and I was living in, with my children in the suite in the Ramada Hotel. That's 2 very different words for homeless, and the eviction was illegal. And they wrote that I thought it was a good idea to take my kids to Pontins when we were first evicted, and we did. And I managed to get my kids into a nursery, and we went up to travelling, and then the Ramada, and then eventually I found a property for us, and then they came in, and I went on the run, and I went to save the family, and then 2 months later it was like, they're gone. Cunts, bastards. Not even connected. So anyway, I'm writing about it. So anyway, I'm going to shoot off. I've done exactly an hour. So what I want you to take from this is that you and your children are made of the same blood, same DNA. They need their father and their mother, their grandparents, their aunts, their uncles, their cousins, their brothers, their siblings, who were born to a bloodline for a reason. And if you've been put under such attack, and you can seriously, hand on heart, stand there and say that you really don't believe that you had any reason, grounds to have your child taken. And remember that it's not who you are now that they've got a problem with. It's who you're going to become and who you're meant to become. And they will do anything and everything that they can to keep suppressed, down, not thinking for yourself, living in this rat race, either getting up, going to work to pay the bills, or they will deliberately sign you off because they know you can't get out from this place. And it is not easy to get out from this benefit trap. And David's just literally just come in now. I'm actually just leaving. So I'm hoping David has got this information from this inquiry as well. And if you haven't, David, please, please, please do look at the childcare inquiry. You will be one of the ones that says, no, don't do it. So please go back to the beginning of this live and check this video out if you want to. But I'm talking about it's really important that our children have their identity, and it's really important that we have our identity too. And what I want to leave you with is, who are you here to serve and why? So if you wake up tomorrow morning and you got out and you had unlimited resources, unlimited travel, unlimited whatever, what world would you get up and walk into, and what that world look like, and who is it that you're here to serve? And go and do that and be part of that, and be part of, I just had an insect fly through my window, and be part of a beetle, funny enough. No, things, like seriously, kiss it out. I don't kill them though, but I really don't like bugs and things and snakes, because now I'm going to find that, and it's going to, you should see Dean if you hear the word mosquito, it jumps like a fucking bird. But basically it's really, really important. And if you have been listening about going on to facesofforcedadoption.co.uk and getting these things right, and you should have already have written your submission already. Everything that I've been doing with you has been preparing you for this day, including, you know, highlighting, going through your paperwork. And David, please get yours in as well now. Everybody needs to get their submission in. Hang on 2 seconds. It's outside, but Liam's falling off the things. I need a sofa bed for him while we're living in this situation. I really do. So yeah, please, please, please get your submissions in. The deadline is the 30th of August, but what I'm asking is for a mass bombard tomorrow. Just literally download a document to just say that you are currently writing your submission and you will have completed it by the deadline date. But fill in the details and make sure tomorrow that they know there is a lot of us. We need a lot of us. We only got 56 into the university study on forced adoption. But this is done by Parliament now, so every single one of you follow the footsteps of the Child Abuse Inquiry. We need to raise the same level of media conversation around this subject now, and it's going to come from all angles now. So don't forget, there's not many of us really, not when you think about it in the bigger scale of the population. But if we can really push through now as the parents standing up with a voice for our children, it is about our children after all. Forget what your difference is. We all need to be there. On the 30th of August, when them submission dates come in, we need to all now be saying we call an investigation, and we have to unite now, and we have to come together. And the way that I believe that we can really do this is, let's get these little segregations of people together, and let's get you all to your town halls, coming together, even if it's 5 of you, 6 of you, 10 of you per city, per village. And if we can get stronger that way, and it works better offline, it works better. So you've got David there. So everybody in Cardiff, go and meet with David and have a coffee and come together, and how many Cardiff people can sit around that coffee shop. And Frederick is in Scotland, call everybody in Scotland. And Amber, she's in Trinidad, call everybody in Trinidad. It doesn't matter, do you know what I mean? Great Britain covers everywhere, do you know what I mean? It's all interconnected, it's all entwined, it's all linked together, it all crosses over to Israel, to Palestine, to America, to UK. It all connects. Ours is worldwide, forced adoption exposed is worldwide. So we've got to bring all this together now. And the only way we can do this is through your submissions. And the only way you can really do this is by being in your own true identity. And don't let these bastards take away who you're meant to be. Don't let them destroy you as a person. Don't let what they've done change who you are. Heal as fast as you fucking can. And get up and go and be the father and the mum and the person that you are, so your child will come back to you naturally. And not only that, it just shows them how wrong they were about you, and also it just means that you do have another chance at life. It might not feel like it, and I've got 2 other boys and a partner, and it's not easy and it's not always great, and you get a lot of shit because I continue doing this. And you know, it's dangerous times with the Epstein stuff and Prince Andrew, and you know, everybody understanding this about the mental health. And tomorrow is Day of Mental Health, so please, please, please get on the Twitters, get on the lives, get on the MPs, the things all about mental health tomorrow in Parliament. And then they're vacating, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Parliament is over. I do believe MPs and councillors still do some local community work, but that's it. School is out. New headmaster next year. Boris Johnson is in. He is our new target. I left a message on his answering machine this morning, basically saying he has 18 months to sort this shit out. He's got 6 months. If in 6 months' time we see nothing, then it is direct action. And I've told him there is going to be direct action. There was direct action tonight. And I do believe that Boris Johnson has made a statement that he's going to sort the care system out. He doesn't know how, but he's going to. So please, 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 when you write your submissions, put them together in emails to your local MP, your local councillor, every single person who's been involved in your case. And Boris Johnson, Queen Country, fucking stamp it to the lot. Even put it through to the ICPC, the care complaints, all of the different orders. Just fucking copy everybody in and say, I am here. See, David ain't going to lead you through the fucking gates, mate, but he will lead you another way. So I'm going to lead you through the gates of Parliament, because we have to do this in there. We have to do this under a united front. It doesn't help with just me and a few people going in. It has to be, and if we can't do it on the inside, we have to do it on the outside. But the way that you do it inside right now is through putting in official submissions. It isn't directly related to your case. It isn't going to get an investigation immediately into your case, but it's going to put you directly into the system, and it's going to open a can of worms. I promise you that. Especially if all your cases are as genuine as I think I think they are. If they're not genuine, then I very much doubt you'll put your submission in, because you won't all get caught out. And if you're not a genuine case that actually genuinely wants your children back, then you're not even going to try. You're just going to treat it like the lottery. But do you know what? Every pound that you put into the lottery goes to a fucking good cause. Do you know what I mean? And I see amazing things done with lottery money. And if you're not in it, you can't win it. If you are not in this inquiry, then you will not move into the class action and into the investigation. And if you don't come forward as a mass, then you fuck it up for us all. And people like me and many others have worked really hard. Don't think they've just gone, hey, let's do this. It's because of people like you and me that are sending the emails, doing the stuff, putting the people out there, putting the pressure on, making the phone calls, sending the emails, going and seeing them, protesting, campaigning, demoing, joining the Yellow Jackets, joining XR, that are all putting the pressure on for this assembly. And Boris Johnson is going to be fun. He's a bit folk water trigger happy, but we need to remember that we can't really rely on government. It has to be with our own personal responsibility. but that also has to be about accountability. And if you listen to me about flipping this submission over to an affidavit, then it will be them that's going to have to submit. I'm not saying we're on an easy road, but I'm saying we're on the right path. And it's better to do it this way, and also put the pressure on. There's not enough turning up to protests, not enough turning up to demos, but if we can get the public to actually really understand what's going on, they'll do it for us. So anyway, guys, I'm going to bugger off, and I shall see you all tomorrow. So please do remember, it's big. I need to be in London tomorrow for this. Really, I'm meant to be meeting the MP Neil Field, or whatever his name is, at the mental health thing, and I need to speak to a lot of people about mental health and having children taken. So please get on the Twitter and tweets, because they do are aware. But without petrol funds and a bit of help with the kids, it's a bit of a nightmare. And of course, it's congestion time as well. So and parking and all that shit. It is fucking expensive, and then you need lunch and all that bullshit. So hence why they have so many taxations when you have a business. All this shit goes onto it. It comes straight out of your profit. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and then obviously Parliament say bye tomorrow, and then they'll be back on the 3rd of September. Now, officially, I was then going to vacate tomorrow and would have been back, but I am asking if any person who works for a children care company that wants to come forward, the Guardian would like to speak to you. The information should be on my Facebook. We still need a Welsh speaker. It is really, really, really urgent. They're now going to pull the plug on this programme, and it comes out, and we really need this, but it has to be a Welsh speaker, because it's the Welsh BBC channel, which is Welsh speaking, so it has to be a Welsh speaker. And if they can get this, then it will open up to the normal BBC and out. So this is the small time people that are willing to do this. So we really do need a Welsh speaker to come forward. So please, if you've had a child taken, forced adoption, failed help, and you speak Welsh, please, 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 urgently, we need you. It's for a BBC programme, so let's bust this wide open. Well, no, it's not Fry TV. Fry TV? Fry TV. Which one is it, Amber? Put the details up, that'd be great. I think it's on ITV, actually, but it's for main media. And we really need your submissions in. Simply, it's nice, it's sunny, get a notepad, pen, go through your folder, say what you want to say, go through the questions, write the questions down, write them, answer them, put them down on a piece of paper, send it over. Even just send over your details, go on, put your name, your first name, your email, I think it's telephone number, and then download a document that says I will complete my submission by 30th of August, and then just edit it later and put it in. Just get it in, get that little slip that says your submission is in. And even if you don't believe in this, and don't be a fucking cunt and wreck it for the rest of us and wreck the work that I've done for the last 7 years. So I'll fucking put bullets to people's heads that fuck this over right now. I really will. I'll be fuming, like fucking Thundercat, fucking fuming, because, you know, I've sacrificed a fucking lot for this, and I've put myself at jeopardy for this, and I haven't actually had the support to do this. I've been a bit of a lone ranger doing this. So please, please, please get your submissions in. It really, really is important. Anyway, I'm going to crack on and speak to you soon. Bye. I have a feeling a few shills and a few gatekeepers and a few other things that Dean might have been right about are also going to reveal themselves over the next 2 weeks. So let's see who's been trolling or who's going to troll. This should get interesting. See you later. Bye.